Number 12. We have all these 5 different expressions, and we want to know which are equivalent to 1/8. Okay, so different representations of the same number, perhaps. We need to know how to figure that out. Okay, so let's look at the first one. And let's talk about, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at this, but what we really have here is a 1 that's being raised to the 3/2 over a 4 that's being raised to the 3/2. Well, what's 1 to the 3/2? It's just 1. Okay. Now, when you come to something like this, especially with numbers, numbers I like to have in radical form, and then exponents I like to have in variables I like to have in exponential form. So I'm going to convert this to a radical because I find that to be the easiest way. So that is a 4 cubed that's underneath a square root, right? So the 3 here is the power, and then the 2 down here is the index for our root. Okay. Well, what's the root of 4? It's just 2. Square root of 4 is 2, and then 2 cubed is 8. So that does equal 1/8. Alright, next one we have, I'll do that one up here, 1 over 16 to the 1/2. Alright, well, 1 to the 1/2, that's the square root of 1, which is 1. So 1 over the square root of 16 is what that is. Well, it's the square root of 16. It's just 4. So this is 1/4, not 1/8. Next one, 1/2 to the 1/4. Okay, so both the numerator and the denominator being raised to the 1/4. Everything. Okay. So there's, like I said, there's a couple ways to think about it, but that's 1 over the 4th root of 2. All right. Well, the 4th root of 2 is not 8. Another way to look at it would be that it's the 4th root of 1/2. Either way you slice it, that's not going to be 1/8. And then, again, on some of these, I feel like we've said it before, but if you want to know, so one of these was 1/2 being raised to the 1/4. So type it in, and then type in 1/8 if you need to, and you see those are not the same thing. Okay, so a lot of things to try here. And then the next one, 2 to the 1/3, that's just the cube root of 2. Okay. Those are the same, those are equivalent expressions. You need to get used to seeing these things as the same thing, a root and a fractional power. Root, rational exponent. Root, rational exponent. Okay, so the cube root of 2, also not 1/8. Next one, 64 to the negative 1/2. So how do we simplify that? Well, that's 1 over 64 to the positive 1/2. Remember, if you have a negative exponent, put that thing in the denominator if it was in the numerator, or if it was a negative exponent in the denominator, it would be a positive exponent in the numerator. You get 1 over the square root of 64, which is 1/8.